All right, so we're moving on to negative and fractional exponents. I'll review still, right? Yes, exactly. All right, so the first one, I know at least a few people got it. Let's go with, I don't know. Why does this thing never want to work for me? Obnoxious. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Working now. Let's go with Tomas. You can, between the two of you, figure it out. Let me know. What's the answer?
I think it's A5 times B2 divided B.
Yep. So how did the B simplify? Thanks a lot.
So it would be A5 times B.
Good. Exactly. Right. Exactly. Because a to the 3 times a squared, they add, and then b squared over b we subtract, and so we get b. Okay. That's on lesson 2. Hey guys, too much talking. I can't understand the questions. Go ahead. Why is it b? Because I effectively have b squared over b, which simplifies to just b. Right? Because there's a b on the bottom here and a b squared up there. Okay, you can think of it as like the first one is a fraction as being over 1. All right. Good. Matthias, walk me through this next one. What should I do first?
I have no idea.
No idea. Yeah.
Distribute the exponent.
Yes, I'm going to take this squared and I'm going to put it in. That is the best first step. So this first fraction, I'm going to leave it exactly as it is. And then I'm going to put the squared in. So 3 squared gives me 9. X becomes x squared. Y becomes y squared. And z becomes what?
Is to the 10.
To the 10. Hey, Pablo. Good. Okay. Then from there, now what would I do, Matthias? Uh-oh, he still doesn't know. Help him out, guys. Help him out.
We have to like the one below make it a fraction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can do that for sure. And now I can start putting together the x's, the y's, and the z's. All right? Yes, I know I say z, by the way. I'm sure somebody's thinking that. I'm not American, I'm Canadian. So Matthias, give me the x's. What do the x's become?
9 next to the power of 10.
Not to the power of 10, because when we're multiplying,
Power of 10.
we add. Exactly, good. One more, Martine, what's the y's?
4.
4. And let's go with Nicolas, what's that?
7.
It's 7. It's 10 on top, 3 on the bottom, right? So that's why I would subtract to get 7. Does that make sense? Yeah? Nicolas? Yeah? Good. All right. Excellent. All right, let's take a look at what we're doing today. Oh, yeah, you got your notes. So now when we have the negative exponents, basically what I need to remember for negative exponents, there's like a funny little saying or rhyme. Anybody remember what I said to you last class? Or 2 classes ago? Cross the line. Flip the sign. Exactly, right? So this is what we're going to do when we've got negative exponents. Okay? So here, instead of 8, you can think of it as 8 over 1. So when I flip it, like cross the line, it would become 1/8. And then the negative 1 becomes positive 1. Do I need to write positive 1? No. Can I? Yes. It doesn't change anything. All right. So then let's do this one over here. This time the negative 1 is attached to both the 3 and the x. So they're both going to cross the line. And then again, I don't need to write positive 1. Right? It's not necessary. So those two are pretty easy. What about if I have a negative, but it's on the bottom? What's going to happen? Yeah, I'm still just going to switch it up to the top. And then instead of negative 2, it becomes positive 2, right? We're on lesson 2, all right? All right, so then on this next one, what is the only thing that's going to switch? The x. The x, right? Because it's the only one that has that exponent on it. Okay? So the 3 over negative 5 doesn't change, and then the x is going to switch to the top. right? Because everything else doesn't have an exponent. Now, does it matter if I put the negative there or somewhere else? No, right? So usually I'm going to move it to the top because I think, well, I've just found people forget it less. If you leave it on the bottom, people sometimes miss it and forget it. So I like to move them to the top. All right, let's get you guys to practice those 4. Is it just 4? Yeah. We'll let you practice those 4. So I'm going to freeze the screen and I'm going to write the answers, but try them on your own. All right, so go ahead and check your answers there. That should be what you got. Any questions about any of them?
Mister, if we just put x6, x2.
That's fine. Yeah, if you did it in your head, that's fine. I think the top 2 are pretty easy. Those bottom 2 are a little bit trickier. Did anybody have trouble or have any questions, or are we good? So I did have one question, right? Pablo asked, what if I went straight from this to that? That's fine. What were you going to ask, somebody?
Yes, in the dy is x.
Squared? So if we write it out like fully, it'll probably make a little bit more sense. This is x to the -1 minus -3, right? Because when they're divided, we subtract. And then when we minus a negative, that's the same as adding. So we'd get 5x to the -1 plus 3, which is where I got the 5x squared. Does that make sense now? Yeah? Yeah, it's tricky because you're subtracting the negatives, right? Awesome. All right, let's take a look at the next ones. So now we're going to do fractional exponents. Before we even start, what does a fractional exponent mean? Anyone remember? No? It's basically roots, right? Radicals. What did you guys use for terminology? You use roots or radicals or both? Like in previous years? Both? Okay, cool. All right, Max, what's that first one?
3.
I had no idea that your name was Max. It's all good. No, it's all good. I was just trying to get Max's attention because he's talking so much. All right, let's get Max to do the next one. Now he gets the hard one. What does this become instead? What does the 1/3 become? So if 1/2 was square root, what's 1/3? The cubed root. Okay, so we put the little 3 here, the index, and then we keep the 27. And what is the answer to that? Anyone know? 3 as well. Perfect. All right, so this one, 16 to the 1/2, is the same thing as just being the square root of 16, which exactly is 4. You don't necessarily have to write this out every time. I'm doing it because I want to make sure you guys see what the conversion is for the fractional exponent, okay? All right, this one's a little bit trickier because now it's negative n to half. So instead of just being like the square root of 16, this is going to be the square root of 1 over 16, right? Because I've got to get rid of that negative. If that's tricky, you can take it step by step and think of this instead as being 1 over 16 to the 1/2, which is 1 over the square root of 16, which is 1/4. Okay, so the negative, all it really does is force it to be on the bottom. Okay? All right, now, negative 2/3. So again, probably the easiest way to do this is first to put it down like this, right? Make that exponent positive. Now, is it easier to square 27 or cube root it? Cube root it first, right? So if I cube root it, it's going to be 3. So I get 3 squared now, and then I would get 9. If you want to do those in your head, that's fine, as long as you can. But if you're having trouble, just write the steps, okay? But if you can kind of go, okay, cubed root is 3, 3 squared is 9, I have no problem with you going straight to 1/9. Luciana, I also have no problem with you like writing it all out. You don't have to look scared. Okay. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to go from the radical and turn it into an index or into a fractional exponent. So this is the same as 8 to the power of 1/2. This would be the same as m to the power of 1/3. Now this one is actually completely different because this time the fraction is going to go away because what do I do to simplify m to the 6th to the 1/2? Multiply them, and 6 times 1/2 is just 3. So it actually goes away. I don't even have the fraction anymore. Next one, they're not going to go away. What is 3 times 1/2? 1 and 1/2. But usually, you guys, it's going to be easier if you think of it as 3 halves. You can put 1.5. It's not wrong. But usually the fractional one is more useful. Okay? All right, now this one, what is this going to become? 16 to the 1/2 to the negative 2. 16 to the power of what? Close, not quite. So it's 1/2 times negative 2. I heard somebody say it. Negative 1, there we go. I heard a bunch of people say it. Good. And then I shouldn't leave it that way. Let's go ahead and turn it into 1 over 16, right? To get rid of that negative exponent. Cool? Yeah? Oh man, did I not give you any practice on this? Look at that. We just go straight into that. All right, guys. So that is the end. That's just the formative left for you, so you guys can practice those.